Yo, this is Tupac. You know me, but do you really know my story? Let me take you back, way back to where it all began. In this concrete jungle, man. Words became my weapon, my shield, my escape. But in time, they'd grow into something bigger, my legacy and my burden.
The revolution is not an apple that falls when it is ripe. You have to make it fall.
My mama, Afeni, she was my first teacher. She taught me about struggle, about pride, about fighting for what's right. We didn't have much, you feel me? But what we lacked in food, we made up for in knowledge and spirit. Acting, man. It was my first love. It let me be someone else, somewhere else, but it also taught me how to tell stories, how to make people feel something. Even when you got nothing, you can still give something. That's what I learned early on. First time I really faced hatred. Man, it hit me like a punch to the gut. Made me realize the world wasn't just tough, it was unfair. Why do they hate us, Mom? Why do they say those things?
Because they're afraid of our strength, our beauty, but we don't let their fear define us. We define ourselves.
My mama's words, they were like a bomb, but they also lit a fire in me. But the world, it had other lessons for me too. Harsh ones, the kind that make you grow up fast. That's when I knew I couldn't stay silent. I had to speak up, to fight back with my words. That's when I knew. My words, they weren't just for me anymore. They had to mean something more. It wasn't easy, finding the right words, the right flow, but I knew I had to speak my truth, our truth. That moment, that's when Tupac the rapper was born. But the journey, man, it was just getting started. I could feel it in my bones. This was just the beginning of something big. Fame hit like a tidal wave, man. Suddenly everyone wanted a piece of Tupac, but with all that noise, sometimes I had to step back, Remember why I started this in the first place, seeing how my words touched people. That was the real reward. That's when I knew my voice mattered. But the higher I rose, the harder they came at me. Every step forward felt like a battle. My sound was changing, growing. Each track was a new chapter in my story, in our story. Acting called me back, gave me another way to tell our stories, to make people feel and think. In the end, it wasn't about me. It was about us, our struggle, our strength. That's the legacy I fought for. Fame, man, it's like a drug. Addictive, dangerous, but damn if it don't feel good. You start chasing that high, and before you know it, you're in deep. I see no changes. Wake up in the morning and I ask myself, is life worth living? Should I blast myself?
Yo, Pac! This is fire, man. You're gonna blow up with this. You're speaking truth, bro.
Shock G, Digital Underground, they gave me my first real break, showed me the ropes. I owe them everything. Man, I feel like we just made history in there. This track, it's gonna change things.
No doubt, Pac. You're not just making music, you're starting a movement.
Every word, every line, it was like I was spilling my soul onto the page. When that first album dropped, man, it was like lighting a match in a room full of gasoline. They tried to silence me, but they just made me louder. I was speaking for the voiceless, Keep your head up. Oh, child, things are going to get easier. Oh, child, things will get brighter. That connection with the people, it was everything. But it came with a price. I felt the weight of their hopes and dreams on my shoulders. It was beautiful and terrifying all at once. To himself, this is bigger than me now. I got to use this platform, right?
Tupac, do you think your music encourages violence? How do you respond to the criticism?
My words are a reflection of our reality. If you want to change the lyrics, change the reality. I'm just holding up a mirror to society. You don't like what you see, then do something about it. Wes, reading aloud. Your music saved my life. You gave me hope when I had none. Thank you for speaking the truth, for giving a voice to people like me. Moments like that, they reminded me why I did this. But the pressure, man, it was crushing. How do you carry the hopes of so many people? How do you live up to that? The beef, the rivalries. It all started to feel like a game I couldn't win. Every word, every look could spark something. The streets were watching, waiting for any sign of weakness.
Shakur, bad news. Your friend was killed in a drive-by last night. I'm sorry, man.
That's when it hit me. The weight of my words, my influence, it wasn't just about me anymore. People were dying over this stuff. Real people with families, with futures. I had to ask myself, was I using my voice for change, or was I part of the problem? Was I speaking life into my people, or just adding fuel to the fire? It was time to make a choice. Coming out of that cell, man, it was like being born again, but this time I knew the score. The world was watching, waiting to see what I'd do next. The world was watching, you know what I'm saying? Waiting to see if I'd fall or if I'd fly. But I wasn't about to let them write my story. Nah, I had more chapters to add. I'm not saying I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. Every word, every rhyme, it's all about making a difference. That's just the way it is. Things will never be the same. But that's why we're here, to make a change, to shake up the system. It's not about East or West, it's about coming together, using our voices to make real change. We've got to move beyond the labels, beyond the streets, and start thinking about our future, our children's future. Don't just make music, make a difference. Every word you spit should mean something. You've got a voice, use it to speak for those who can't speak for themselves. The pressure, man, it was like carrying the whole world on my shoulders. Every letter, every fan, they were all looking to me for answers, for hope. I started wondering, how long could I keep this up? How long before the game caught up with me? It was like being pulled in 1,000 different directions, and I was just trying to stay true to myself. I'm trying to find my way in the world, you know? But it's like I'm caught in the crossfire, between who I was, who I am, and who everyone expects me to be. It's a war out here, and I'm fighting on every front. I was living every day like it was my last, because deep down, I think I knew it might be. The game, the fame, the pressure, it was all closing in, you know? But you know what? Even if I'm gone, my words, they'll live on. That's the power of music, of art. It outlives us all. So yeah, this is Tupac, the rose that grew from concrete, the voice that couldn't be silenced. I might not be here in person, but my spirit, my message, that lives on in every kid picking up a pen, every voice speaking truth to power. And as long as my words are out there, inspiring, challenging, changing minds, I'll never really be gone. You feel me? That's the real immortality. Not living forever, but creating something that does.